Welcome all of you to the English class. Today I am present here with a poem on Jennifer's Tigers by Adrienne Rich. So first of all, we must know about the poet Adrienne Rich. Adrienne Rich was an American poet, essayist and feminist. Feminist means who fights for women's right, women's equality, supporter of feminism. She has published about 19 volumes of poetry, and as she was an essayist, so 3 collections of essays also. She was one of the famous poets of second half of the 20th century. Now let's see the poem. So first of all, introduction. Through the poem on Jennifer's Tigers, the poet describes the oppressed condition of women. The poet describes the miserable condition of women, pitiable conditions of women, and male's dominance in the society, male's importance in the society, male's superiority in the society, male's tyranny in the society, cruelty, oppression in the society over women. The protagonist of the poem Aunt Jennifer represents women all over the world, particularly the women in America during the 1950s. The main character of this poem is Aunt Jennifer. She symbolizes all the women of the world, and particularly the women of America during 1950s. Means that time in America, the condition of women was very pitiable. The women were tormented. The women were oppressed by their husband. Aunt Jennifer represents all such women who were tortured mentally or physically by their husband, who were caught under the oppressive hand of patriarchal society, who were caught under the oppressive hand of such society where the male were thought superior. Now we'll deal with the poem stanza by stanza. On Jennifer's Tigers, France across the screen. On Jennifer's Tigers. What does it mean? If Aunt Jennifer had tamed tigers, domesticated tigers, then why it's Aunt Jennifer's Tigers? No, she had not tamed, she had not domesticated. Actually, she had woven, she had created the images of tigers, the pictures of tigers on the cloth. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen. Her tigers are prancing, jumping across the screen. Prancing where? In the picture? On the screen? Or maybe the picture which is hanging on the wall? Or maybe it is tablecloth? Or maybe it is still in the frame? She has not completed. She is still weaving. So her tigers are prancing over the screen, over the cloth, over the picture. Bright topaz denizens of a world of green. Her tigers are as bright as topaz. First of all, children, let's see the meaning of the words. So see here, prance, spring forward on the hind legs, on the back legs. Jump, topaz, a kind of precious stone. Denizen, dweller, but not, it will not be applied for a man only. It may be animal, it may be plant. So any animal, person or plant of a particular place will be called denizen. Here the tiger is denizen. Denizen of forest, dweller of forest. Dwell means live. Dweller, who lives. Sleek, elegant, refined, cultured, chivalric, honorable and brave. Now see the stanza. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen. Aunt Jennifer's tigers are prancing, jumping, where? On the screen. In the picture. Bright topaz. The tigers are as bright as topaz. Topaz is a precious stone, as you have read just now. And the color of the topaz is yellowish bright. And the color of a tigers is also yellowish bright. Topaz is precious, valuable, and the tigers are also the kings of the forest. So valuable, so important. That's why here tigers have been compared with topaz. So which figure of speech is used here? There is comparison, but the words like and as have not been used. So metaphor. Bright topaz denizens of a world of green. World of green means green forest. Tigers are the king of forest. Tigers basically live in the forest. Their habitat is in the forest. So, to beautify her tigers, the poet says that Aunt Jennifer's tigers were as bright as topaz. And they are the original residents, habitants, denizens of the green forest. They do not fear the men beneath the tree. How are the tigers? The tigers are so brave, as they are the king of the forest. So not only the animals, even the human beings are afraid of the tiger. Though People are standing under the tree, but they are not afraid. The tigers are already brave. And here in the picture, Aunt Jennifer has woven in such a way that they look braver than they are really. Aunt Jennifer has tried to weave the pictures of tigers in such a way so that they are looking very strong, very brave, royal, majestic. People are standing beneath the tree, under the tree, but still they are not afraid. They pace in sleek, swelling certainty. They are moving, they are walking without being afraid. In a dignified way, in a majestic way, in a cultured way, bravely, confidently. So, let's see here. Now rhyme scheme. Let's talk about the rhyme scheme. So you can see that the last word of the first line is screen. The last word of second line also green. So A. The last word of the third line is tree. And the last word of the fourth line certainty. So here tree and certainty, they both sound alike. And screen and green, both sound alike. So the rhyme scheme of the first stanza is AABB. Now let's talk about figure of speech. So we have seen there is comparison between tigers and topaz. The similarities are the color. Both are yellowish bright and both are very valuable. In simile also there is comparison, but in simile we use the words like and as. As here the words like and as have not been used, show metaphor. Now children, there is one more figure of speech and that is anaphora. What is anaphora? You have already read anaphora in the poem A Thing of Beauty. Use of same word in two consecutive lines, in two successive sentences or phrases or clause. Here you can see the word they has been used in the beginning of the third line also and in the beginning of fourth line also. So the repetition of the word they in the beginning of two consecutive sentences. So here the figure of speech anaphora is used. Symbol. Here tigers symbolize free, fearless and confident spirit. The tigers here stand for free and bold spirit who have no fear at all. Now some questions. How are Aunt Jennifer's tigers described? Aunt Jennifer's tigers are described free, fearless and confident. Why are they described as denizens of a world of green? They are described as denizens of a world of green because basically they live in the forest. They are the dwellers of the forest. Why are they not afraid of the men. They are not afraid of the men because they think themselves the king of the forest. They think themselves very powerful. And here, particularly in this poem, they are not the living beings. They are the creation. They are the pictures, images woven by Aunt Jennifer. So it depends upon the creator. See, if the creator wants, then creator can make the images ugly, and if the creator wants, then can make the images beautiful. So Aunt Jennifer has woven tigers in such a way that they are looking fearless. They are not afraid of the men. Now let's see the second stanza. Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. So first see the rhyme scheme. Wool, pull. The both sound alike. Show A, band, hand. The both sound alike. Show BB. So again in this stanza, same rhyme scheme AABB has been used. Now let's see some of the words. Flutter, quiver, waver, flicker, flap, tremble, shake, ivory, tusk, bone, tusk, elephant's teeth, massive, large and heavy. Now see the stanza. Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool. So Aunt Jennifer here is weaving, doing embroidery. She is weaving the pictures of tigers on the piece of cloth, but her fingers are fluttering. She is weaving the pictures with wool and with the help of ivory needle. You must have seen your mother weaving sweater or weaving some pictures, beautiful pictures on a piece of cloth, on tablecloth, on glass cover. So while doing so, one has to pull the needle time and again. So here Aunt Jennifer is also weaving with wool with the help of ivory needle on the piece of cloth. What is she weaving? She is weaving the pictures of tigers. But her fingers are not stable. They are shaking. Now the question arises, why are her fingers shaking? Maybe due to her old age, or maybe due to the tyranny of her husband, due to the torment of her husband. As constantly she has been tormented by her husband, she has been oppressed by her husband. So even when in her free time, she is indulged in her hobby, like she is weaving something, Due to fear, her fingers are wavy. She is in fear that maybe her husband will come and scold her. She is so afraid that she is not able to pull the needle, which is so light, which is not heavy. It is very easy to pull the needle, but as her fingers are fluttering, as she has no strength in her fingers due to continuous household work, it is very difficult for her to pull the needle. The massive weight of uncle's wedding band. You can see in the picture the wedding band. Wedding band, as in India, we women at marriage time put on vermilion, put on rings, put on mangalsutra. In the same way, in America, wedding band as a gift, as a token of marriage, was given to the bride by bridegroom. So here uncle's wedding band. What does it mean? That the wedding band given to Aunt Jennifer by her husband. So though it has been put on by aunt, but it's written here uncle's wedding band. Means the wedding band was gifted to her by the uncle. The massive weight. The wedding band is too heavy for her, is a burden for her. Why? Because she is not satisfied with her married life. So the gift given to her by her husband is just like a burden for her. The gift always reminds her of her husband's cruelty, tyranny. So, the wedding band is on her hand just like a heavy burden. Means she is carrying this relationship anyway, just like a burden. She is not satisfied, she is not happy. Then who could be satisfied with such a cruel husband? She is so greatly afraid that even when in extra time she is weaving the pictures of tigers, her fingers are fluttering and it's very difficult for her to pull the needle. Now figure of speech. Alliteration. So where is alliteration? You can see fingers fluttering. The both words have been started with the same consonant sound, and that is F. So what is alliteration? When more than one word is started with same consonant sound very close to each other. It's called alliteration. So fingers and fluttering both are very close to each other and the both have been started with same consonant sound. Symbol. Wedding band symbolizes oppression, cruelty in an unhappy marriage, tyranny in an unhappy marriage. Now the last stanza. When aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie, still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. Aunt was in hope that after death, at least she will be free from the fear of her husband. She will be free from the tyranny of her husband. But alas, even after her death, she is not free from the dominance of her husband, from the mastery of her husband. Why? Because even after her death, the ring, the wedding ring, is still on her finger. So still she is under the dominance of her husband. Still she is mastered by her husband. Still on her body, on her dead body, her husband is showing his right. So children, you can see here, still ringed with audios. Here the word ring has double meanings. Ring means still she had a ring on her finger, wedding ring. And ring here verb and circle, surround means even after her death, she was surrounded by the ordeals. Ordeal means difficult experience, bitter experience, hard experience. Although she died, but the bitter experiences of her married life were not going to leave her. In the form of ring, still the bitter experiences of her married life would rule over. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. But just see, this is the irony of the fate, that she was herself so sad, so grieved, so afraid. But the creation made by her, the images made by her, are so brave, so proud, fearless. And she would die, but the images made by her would be jumping always over the screen, over the panel. Here, now the question arises that why she wore the picture of tigers. She could weave the picture of flower, deer, cat, anything. But why the tiger? And why prancing tiger? It means she had deep desire to be free, to be fearless. But as she couldn't gain it, she couldn't fulfill it. So, by weaving the pictures of prancing tigers, she has tried to fulfill her desire. So, this is the irony of fate, that she is herself so afraid, but the creation by her is so bold. So her desire to be free, be fearless, would always remain in the form of her images woven on the cloth, which is in panel. Now children, let's see some of the words. Mastered, controlled, ordeals, difficult experiences, bitter experiences. Panel, so many meanings. Control board, a group of people for a special plan, like panel inspection is going to be held. means the inspection by a group of people is going to be held. Frame to weave. Here the meaning frame will be applied. You can see this is the panel. You must have seen your mother, sister weaving some pictures on the cloth by tapping the cloth in this frame. Symbol. Aunt Jennifer symbolizes the victim of male oppression. Aunt Jennifer is here symbol for all such ladies who are under male oppression, who are the victim, who are the sufferer of male dominance in an unhappy marriage. Irony. It is ironical that Aunt Jennifer's creations, the tigers, will continue to roam, continue to pace, continue to jump freely, while she herself will remain terrified, will remain after her death. Theme of the poem. The poem is a feminist poem. Means the poem describes a woman who was living under the fear of her husband. Revolves around the theme of male chauvinism and gender conflicts. The poem revolves around the male tyranny, the male dominance, and the gender conflicts between male and female. It also highlights the theme of victimization of the women by their male counterparts. At the same time, the poem also focuses upon the theme of victimization, suffering of the women by their husbands. Aunt Jennifer is victimized. Here Aunt Jennifer is the example of victimization, of suffering, of oppression of her male counterpart, of her husband. Even though he is absent, even though he is not present, he is outside, he goes somewhere, she doesn't forget her husband's cruelty. Her fingers flutter. Classwork, write the summary of the poem and for your homework, write 5 examples of symbolism and alliteration. This poem is full of symbols. You have seen here tigers are symbol for fearless, free, confident speed. Wedding band is symbol for oppression, cruelty. Aunt Jennifer herself is symbol for victimization. She is victimized. She is symbol for all the ladies who are tormented, who are oppressed. Here you have seen in so many places at alliteration also. Here in this stanza also, in the third stanza also, you can see alliteration in the last line, prancing proud. So children, at last the poem has come to an end. That's all. Thanks.